Kate O'Leary is the founder of Urban Thirst, a company that creates delicious cocktail mixes for you to make fabulous cocktails at home. Urban Thirst was founded by Kate in 2004 and is a leading brand in all major liquor chains in Australia and New Zealand. Kate, welcome to In Her Shoes.
Thank you, Susie.
Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about the business.
Well, Urban Thirst, as you said, we're there to help people create beautiful cocktails at home without the mess and fuss that normally goes into creating cocktails. We've been established since 2004 and as you said, we're in New Zealand, Australia, and we're now export up to Spain as well, which is quite exciting for us.
So tell me a little bit how it works. The product is ready packaged?
Yes, it's basically the cocktail base without the alcohol or the spirits that you need to add to make the cocktail. So the idea of it came from a frustration that I had with making cocktails at home. And if you want to make cocktails properly, you need to buy the liqueurs, the spirits, the fruit, and particularly with frozen cocktails, which is our core range, you need to blend up ice in a blender, and it's difficult, time-consuming and messy. And so what the concept was behind it is how do we create the cocktail base that makes it very simple for you to make cocktails at home.
I guess the key thing is that you found something that made life easier for the customer.
That's
and
right.
I suspect that's been part of the reason for your success.
That's right. And also I think the novelty factor in our product, because I don't know if you've seen them, but they actually come in a bucket. And the idea of a cocktail in a bucket is somewhat funny, I guess, if you're thinking of cocktails, which are normally served in elegant glasses. But the idea behind that is that you put the spirits into the bucket with the mix, pop it in the freezer, leave it overnight, and it comes out as a frozen cocktail, already to the right consistency, so you can just scoop it out into your glass and go. And so the bucket is a very convenient aspect of the packaging.
Well, I was going to ask a little later, but I'll ask it now. Obviously, that whole concept is part of how you differentiate yourself and make the customer attracted to your product. Anything else that's worked for you in that respect of making your product really appealing?
Well, I think there's the bucket packaging plus also the way we have styled the product, so the look and feel of the product. Even though it's a cocktail in a bucket, it looks very sophisticated, and I think it appeals to people who want to be aspirational in their choice of drink. Also the flavours that we do, we have a range of flavours, and what we've done there is try to appeal to the people who like the more timeless cocktails like strawberry daiquiri and margarita, but then we also have a range of more contemporary cocktails like Capriosca and Mojito, and the latest one we've just released is Limoncello.
I guess what I'd like to do is, for those in the audience who perhaps their business isn't cocktails,
yes,
is what elements from a business owner, wearing your business owner hat, did you go after to differentiate that are separate to the product? Was it packaging?
It was
branding?
the packaging, but it also was the concept. When we started, cocktails weren't a category in the liquor stores at all. Right. So we launched, as I say, in 2004, and the only cocktail mix available was the Jose Cuervo Margarita mix, which comes in a bottle. So for me, wanting to achieve an end result of a convenience product that delivered on taste and quality, the packaging was a big part of it in differentiating, so that it added to the convenience factor.
Your background is not in this area.
Not at all.
You come from corporate finance, law and management consulting. So what had you jump into food and beverage?
Well, I guess if you think of lawyers and consultants, you'll know that they generally drink a lot.
Drink a lot.
And so in a way it's not that far away from what I was involved in, and I was a lawyer in New York and drank a lot of Cosmopolitans, thinking I was very Sex and the City type of thing, and so two things really made me cross across. First of all, I guess I had a food background because my parents had a food manufacturing and distribution company in New Zealand. So when I decided to leave management consulting, it was basically born of a wish to be doing things rather than advising. And as a lawyer and consultant, you're an advisor rather than a doer. And so I looked around at what I could do, and the first thing that came to mind was importing my parents' product into Australia.
Okay, great.
So I started my first business importing their products and distributing them into gourmet and specialty stores around Australia. And then from that, the idea of the cocktails came about. And that's how I sort of leveraged into the cocktail business.
Having grown up in a family that was business oriented, you've been able to take some lessons away
Absolutely. I mean, I think the thing that I learnt most of all was that it's not a glamorous life, even with a cocktail business. It's a very hard life being an entrepreneur, and I think a lot of people think of entrepreneurs and think they're wealthy, drive convertibles and have this fabulous life, but they don't realise the hard work that goes into it. And I saw that with my parents. Both of them worked in their business, and I knew what it took to actually have a successful business. So I think I had a real dose of reality going into my business, which I think helped.
So you didn't think, great, I'll get to do whatever I want, whenever I want?
No, although that was a little bit of a motivating factor, because as a lawyer and consultant, you know, I was answering to people, and in those professions there's a very high expectation about the amount of time and commitment you put into your career. And I was 30, and I looked around and sort of decided, is this the path I want to be taking, especially if I want to have a family and have a bit more of a, I guess, a flexible lifestyle. And I didn't see myself on that path because I didn't see it giving me the flexibility I wanted. And so I set up the business before I had children, before I was in a relationship. And now I'm in a relationship with 2 children, and I do have the flexibility that I wanted, although, you know, obviously it's taken me 7 years to get there.
That's not that long in
Yeah,
the scheme of things.
I feel it's a long time. You know, I feel it's a long time. Yeah, I think when I started, you still think, oh, I've got this fabulous idea, it's going to take the world by storm in a year, I'll be turning over this much. And then you realise it's not going to be a year, it's going to be several years. And, but yeah, here I am.
One of the things I wanted to ask you about was that obviously your distribution includes liquor chains all over the
Yes.
country and in New Zealand, but you also sell direct to the customer online.
Yes.
How have you found that move to selling and dealing with direct with your end user?
We started it before we were really in the liquor stores, and the reason we started it was because we didn't have a distribution footprint to reach all of our consumers, and we were mainly distributing through gift and homeware and specialty food stores, who often only had the product in store through the Christmas and hot season. So we had all these customers who would email us after Christmas and say, where can I get your product? The store that I bought it from didn't stock it. So we started the online store really in response to their needs. And now that we have a bigger distribution network through the liquor chains, it's really become a very small part of the business. But I think it's good because we still are there for the consumer, so that if they want to buy something direct from us, they can. It's good for the people who are in rural Australia, or who, you know, convenience as well, which is what our product is about. I mean, I do all my shopping online, so I shouldn't expect my customers to have to go in store themselves.
Right. So it's a convenience that you still offer them.
Yeah, absolutely.
In your 7 years of business and in the years before that as a career woman, what have you learned that you would share with those who are perhaps just starting in business and looking to grow?
Okay, well, I think first up is choose something that you're passionate about. Don't obviously pursue a business that you, unless you're passionate about money, then don't pursue a business that you think is just going to give you money, because it's a hard thing to get up every morning and self-motivate. So make sure you're passionate about what you're doing. I think it's important to know your strengths. If you aren't good at something, then get somebody else in who's an expert, because you'll be wasting your time, and you've really got to look at what your time is best used for, and that is generally something that you're good at. And I think for me what's really helped is having a mentor. I'm very lucky. I've got an amazing mentor who puts a lot of time into me and is always there for me when I need it. And he's got a very successful business and has got a lot of words of advice, and I think that has been a wonderful help to me, especially in the last few years. So if you can find yourself a mentor, someone who's been in business and can help steer you in the right direction if you're facing decisions, then I think that's also a very helpful thing to have in place.
Great, Kate. Congratulations on your success, and thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, thank you.